appeals to me. Time and time again, I've encountered and defeated his pawns in ways unlike any others have. This is him calling me, and I will heed his call.
Standing alone, standing just at a bridge, foot on the brakes, but I need to go on. Day after day as I fall behind, you keep me away from being who I am. No more chains on me.
What you just saw is an edit I created for the Outcome Usurper, a character I created to serve as a vessel for this series. I'll put their document up on screen, and I'd take some time to skim through it, as it gives you a pretty good summary of what and who this guy is. But if you don't want to read all that, it's basically a self-insert character I made to make writing these videos and all the lore stuff easier for me. You're probably confused, so let me explain. This is a more in-depth Outcome Memories video. If you're watching this and you don't know what Outcome Memories is, I can't in good faith tell you to keep watching, as you'll most likely not enjoy this video. With that being said,
this is the first of possibly many videos I'll be creating documenting my search for the Outcome King. For some critical background information, I've been experiencing rare or anomalous events abnormally frequently inside of Outcome Memories. Events like not taking any damage from the void, winning in impossible situations, encountering or even beating developer-exclusive killers on many occasions.
we'll come back to this part later. There's something more important I have to show you. What you're seeing right now is found footage of the Outcome King that's been circulating around social media and YouTube for quite a few months now. If you don't know who that is, let me go back. In the lore of Outcome Memories, survivors are pitted up against executioners in an endless time loop. Regardless if the survivors die or escape, shortly after the round ends, everything is reset back to the beginning. The Outcome King is seemingly at least somewhat responsible for the realm that is Outcome Memories. But at the same time, the realm of Outcome Memories is also seemingly a prison to keep him trapped. So in short, he's kind of like King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph, except if he was a sonic.exe. My search for the Outcome King first kicked off when I saw this video on YouTube about a month ago. This video will be in the description and I highly recommend giving it a watch. The King is very intriguing to me for many reasons. The first one being I want more of a reason to go in depth with one of my favorite games, and the other being that I really like roleplay scenarios and think what the Outcome Memories team is doing with this guy is cool. And while I understand that the Outcome King is a joke character, I think it's safe to say that he's not enough of a joke for all of my efforts to be considered pointless. I could go on and on as to why I'm putting myself up to finding this guy, but that's not what you're here for. Here's what we know. The Outcome King from my research is played entirely by Ross, one of the co-owners of Outcome Memories. This is important to keep in mind because if I encounter a mod or developer other than him, I know I won't have to worry about actually meeting the King. On the wiki it lists that the King only has 5 abilities, these abilities being taken from other executioners. Most notably a charge like Kolossos', invisibility like 2011X's, and a shapeshift ability taken directly from an unreleased killer named No More Innocence. Despite this, I've also seen him using a number of other abilities, including, but not limited to, spawning a decoy escape ring, stopping the timer, and setting people on fire. On screen is an image on the wiki titled King Origin, and I don't know about you, but this seems an awful lot like the Outcome Warrior skin for Sonic. And despite the fact that the wiki is not entirely reliable, so this image might mean nothing, the description of the Outcome Warrior definitely draws some sort of connection between the Outcome King and the Outcome Warrior. Regardless if these theories are true or not, the puzzle pieces are there, but there's no way to connect them as of now. Now, all of this investigating and defeating the Outcome King stuff already sounds like an impossible task to pull off. Like, I'm just some guy and I'm challenging what can only be described as Zeus compared to the executioners being like, I don't know, my buddy Eric. And you're probably right. I don't doubt that I'm gonna get my ass beat quite a few times before I can actually manage to make headway against this guy. But, as if all that wasn't bad enough, the Outcome King has these guardians. Basically, other executioners that protect him and do his bidding. From what I know, they're also just extensions of the king, so they have all his powers and stuff to a degree. But the real wrench in my plans here is that they seem just as much, if not more of a threat than the king himself is. For example, from what I know, the king kinda likes to play with his food. With the Jorts, if you're putting up too good a fight for them, they'll just freeze you in place and kill you without even giving you a chance to escape. I haven't had the time to do too much research on these guys, so if you want to know more, you're gonna have to do research yourself. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, so give it a search if you want. Before I move on, what the fuck is the lore for these guys? Because they seem super weird for the Outcome King to have just shat out of nowhere and then just tell them,
Oh, go do my bidding, I'm big and evil.
and then they say, yes, boss. I've honestly got no clue how I'm gonna beat this guy, but my hope is that I can either put up a good enough fight against the executioners and or his jorts to get the king's attention. That, or I could probably do something so big and so grand that I won't even have to deal with his guardians, and I'd be allowed to go straight to the king himself. I guess you could say, these may be your memories, but I can change the outcome. God damn it, what am I doing? Starting from the release of this video, I'm gonna start live streaming on my second channel playing Outcome Memories with the goal of searching and training for my inevitable encounter with the Outcome King. I'm actually live on that channel at the time of this video going out, so I would very much appreciate you going over and saying hi. I even had an artist friend of mine draw up this funny little guy to visualize myself when I'm talking on stream.
Thank you, Chester. Thank you, Twin. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Your art will be in the description and on screen. Thank you.
Thing is, I'm not confident in any of this being enough, and I think it's fairly obvious why. I'm not going to be able to do all this alone, not by a long shot. This is where you come in. In the description is a link to my Discord. If you choose to join, during the onboarding process, you'll now have the option to get the investigator role. This, as you might have guessed, will enter you into the investigation. You'll get updates on any discoveries I make, and you'll be invited to most dedicated searches. The most important part of this role, though, is if you're playing Outcome Memories and you happen to encounter the king or any exclusive killers that might be relevant to the search, you have direct permission to ping me, and I ask that you please do. As of right now, my main goal with the streams is to work with you guys to devise a more thought-out plan compared to what I have now. With all that being said, that just about wraps up this video. I'd like to say a few things before we send off. To all the Outcome Memories team members watching this video, thank you so much for watching, and keep doing what you're doing. It means a lot to me. Oh, and Altaz, no, the Outcome Usurper is not a ripoff of your OC. Please do not think that. I swear to God, there's